Main character energy at its peak. Everything has to be about him. He has to be included in absolutely everything because he is the center of attention. He's so cute. We have reached my favorite time of year. It is wrap-up season. I am going to say yes or no. Would I read the books that I read this year again? And very briefly, why? So you know if you want to read them or not. The Identity by Milan Kundera. Yes, I would read it again. Wonderful insights and beautiful narration. Water by Joan Boyne. I would not read it again, but simply because the story progressed incredibly slowly for me. Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. Fuck yes. Beautiful storytelling, and it's all about love and taking care of others and sisterhood. It's beautiful. Papillon by Henri Charrière. I wouldn't read it again. I'm so sorry, but for a nonfiction book, it seemed incredibly fictional to me at times, and I didn't enjoy it. Sonnet by Florbela Espanca. Yes, I will read it in the future because I think she's an extraordinary poet. Whenever I'm feeling a little unseen or lonelier, I find great comfort in her writing. Tess of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy. Yes, I would read it again, even though it was a repeated punch in the face the whole book. Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikawa Kawaguchi. No, I'm so sorry. I know this is an unpopular opinion, but I found the book to be very boring. The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. No, I wouldn't read it again because I couldn't really connect with any of the characters or the story itself. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, also by Mark Twain. It is still a no. I wouldn't read it again, even though it's a lesser no than The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. I'm sad to say that I wouldn't read it again, and I didn't particularly enjoy it, but I do admire her writing. I think she's immaculate. Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. It's a yes, a million times. It has plot, it has wonder, it has depth, it has character development. It's a masterpiece. Another one that's an absolute fuck yes, it's The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. It went straight into my top 5. I didn't even have to wonder. This book was so good. Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Yes. The way that the story is told, I feel like I'm a part of a memoir or watching a documentary. It's beautiful storytelling. Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. I wouldn't read it again, although it was a light and fun summer read. It was pleasant, but once was enough. Said a Watchman by Harper Lee. This was the disappointment of the year. I was so saddened by the way that the book was handled, and even more so when I went to do some digging and I found out that the author herself didn't want to publish the book, and then it was published anyway. I didn't appreciate that. Then we have Kokoro by Natsumi Soseki. This was a book club read, and I'm sorry to say that it didn't do it for me. The writing and the story itself I couldn't connect, and so I wouldn't read it again. Imperfect Strangers by Leon Moriarty, and to be quite frank, I would read it again, but more in the sense that I would want to study the absolute wondrous work that was done in terms of character description. A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Absolutely not. Even though it propelled the second book of the series, which I think was wonderful, I loved it, but the first one, absolutely not. Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury. I wouldn't read it again. Even though I love Ray Bradbury, I couldn't connect with the story and the characters themselves. But I have to say that in terms of insights and writing, Bradbury does it every single time. Carrie by Stephen King. Yes, I would read it again. It was the first book of Stephen King's that I read, and I absolutely loved his writing style. I only wish that this book had a different structure because I think the suspense was a bit cut off. A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. Yes, I would read this one again, the second one of the series. It is the best one, and it actually made me believe in love again, so there's that. Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison, the second read from our book club. I would absolutely read it again, but it will take me a couple of years to decompress from this first read because the book is tough. Persuasion by Jane Austen. I am sad to say that I wouldn't pick it up again because even though I enjoyed it, I don't think it moved me enough for me to read it once more. Strange Case of Benjamin Button by Fitzgerald. It was a strange case for me. I wouldn't read it again. I didn't particularly enjoy the execution of this story, although I do think that it's an extremely interesting one. The Color Purple by Alice Walker. Yes, I would read it again. I just finished it and I think it was the most beautiful book. Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. I wouldn't read it again, I think. It's a yes or no, because I did read it again as an adult, so it was the second time around that I read the story. But I don't know if it's because I'm an adult now. It didn't really do it for me, so maybe another time in my life it will mean something else, but right now I'm not interested in reading it again. A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas, the third one of the series. No, I would not read it again because even though I still love the family and the love that it's shown there, I thought this book was a little bit all over the place, even though I do like the war content, I have to say. I think it's incredibly well described. She has beautiful descriptions all throughout the series. Thank you for sticking around in this video and actually all of the other videos as well. Had so much fun this year. 2024 was wonderful for me, but I do still have a full-time job, so even though I would like to read more, there are just some things that you can't go around, you know? Last but not least, let me show you my child. Zooks would also like to thank everyone for being his friend this year because he has the loveliest of times recording videos because he always has to be the main character. Bye!